How's it going, my fellow reactors? This is Link's Reaction. I'm Link, and today we're going to be talking about Justice Society World War II, on my review of it, and how awesome the movie was. So I'm going to try to do a Mullet-style review, which means we're first going to do some spoiler-free talk, and then I'll mention, alright, this is where the spoilers come. So, that's what we're going to be doing today. So, Justice Society World War II was so far was a really great movie to me. There was some points in it that could have been better, but to me it was still a great movie. Now, there was some good comedic action, some plot points. The animation style took a lot of reference from Man of Tomorrow, but almost like the animation style, they made it seem like it was older. So they I don't know how to explain it, but if you saw Superman Man of Tomorrow, then you can imagine the art style. Now make that seem a little bit older, and that's where World War II or Justice Society comes in. Now, it starts off with the Flash. He's back in our time. He gets somehow, he's fighting a bad guy, gets sent to the past, or what he thinks is the past, and he helps this Justice Society out. A lot of things happen. Him trying to find a way home, them trying to help him and be suspicious of him because it's World War II and you don't want to trust someone that randomly just shows up, especially when you're fighting an enemy that could potentially have someone on their side like them. So yeah, there was some character deaths, some revelations, some really surprising facts, like that I didn't know. I don't know if it's for sure, like, that's actually canon or not, because I just don't know. But it was really a good movie. I liked it. It was exciting, fun, comedic, and also sad at some points. And some of the topics that were spoken were very deep. And I'm surprised in how deep, considering... Okay, so you know how, I guess this is an older one. I mean, there's some, literally deaths. There's some kind of almost gruesome deaths. Not to the point of, Justice League Apocalypse, but, there was some deaths in this, and, it showed the gravity of the situation, what they were fighting for. And, so yeah, that was intense. But, I would recommend seeing this movie if you can. It's a good movie. It's an interesting way to start it off. All I can say was a good movie, funny, and it's not a bad movie to watch when you have free time. I mean, you could watch it with your family, with your kids, if you wanted to, if you have kids. There are some... let's say, deaths in it that are bloody, so you might want to stick to them to older kids, but if you're like my age or older, you can definitely watch this movie, no problem, and I definitely recommend it. So, saying that now, we're going to give this movie a 10 out of 10, or at least a 9.5 out of 10, but it's still a good movie to watch. So, spoiler-free talk is now over. Warning, disclaimer, spoiler talk is happening right now. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this. Or if you don't plan on seeing the movie and you don't care, keep on watching. I don't care. So, let's talk about one of the major things that I did not know about. And at least for Earth 2. For Earth 2, apparently, Themyscira is just something really tragic happened. And so it's only Diana left. And I'm guessing she's just trying to prevent something like that happening, and that's why she's so invested in World War II. She wants to create a better place. She wants them to get a better outcome than what her people did. So, I don't know if that's canon or two. Another thing is that Barry, or we believe Barry Allen, he travels to the past. When he's trying to help Superman fight Brainiac, he speeds to catch a kryptonite bullet that's aimed at Superman, and he gets sent to the past. Or it turns out, a parallel Earth, because he's not on Earth. And the way he discovers that is that the Justice Society has a press person following them around, altering it, because the government does not want them to know, or the world to know, that they have supers on their side. So they're editing stuff out. So, the press person, they after invade a castle, is just so surprising because he gets shot and the bullets come off of it. And then Barry finally recognizes him because he said earlier in the movie, "Don't I know you from someplace?" But we find out who it is. It's Clark Kent, Superman, in the World War II era, Another thing is that his parents, Martha and John Kent, died in an accident when he was 3, and he got sent to an orphanage. So he didn't have the best upbringing. So he was like, all I've learned from being on this planet is to only look out for yourself. And that's pretty heavy. That shows you how important it is for someone with all of this power. He doesn't want to take over the world, but he also is not going to go out of his way to save people because he was in an orphanage, because he wasn't raised by John and Martha, and that is literally insane. So Barry recognizes him and is like, "Wait, that's not your past. That's not what you're doing. That's not your backstory. You're one of the most selfless people I know. How can this happen?" And that's when he realizes that he's not in the past. He's on a parallel world with Earth 1 or Earth 2, depending on how you want to look at it. But it's just insane. Also, another fact, Barry being them is drawing the Speed Force with Jay Garrick, which is weird because Jay Garrick in the early comics, he doesn't do the Speed Force. He's not part of the Speed Force. He's just a speedster. He's not a Speed Force channeler. He got his powers from heavy water, which is kind of funny and really ridiculous. But he goes on as just a theory that he doesn't know for a fact. But since they're both in the same Earth, in the same dimension, they're pulling the same energy wavelength of the Speed Force. So Barry's tapped into Jay's Speed Force, so both of them are causing issues with each other with speed-wise. So they have to work together, and that's how Barry eventually gets home. But then we also, another character, okay, so all the characters in this are Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor, Hourman, Black Canary, or Diana Prince, Hawkman. We do see Dr. Fate in this, and he's the one that helped Barry get to this Earth because they needed his help, and Barry also needed to learn a lesson, stuff like that. So we see Dr. Fate, which is actually pretty cool, and he points them to the Bermuda Triangle. And in the Bermuda Triangle, they find the Atlanteans. Well, it turns out Arthur's under control of the guy who works with Hitler. Yeah, I know. It's insane. But basically this guy who has control over Arthur tells Arthur to capture these guys, open the cage that releases all of these undersea monsters, and them and the Nazis attack the eastern seaboard of America. Now, in this fight, it's really head-in-head. There's so close, but a death occurs, and it's Hawkman. And we got alluded to this by Dr. Fate, who says, "Don't worry, you'll see Shayera again." Now, if you don't know the backstory of Hawkman and Shayera, which is Hawk Girl, they are from ancient Egypt times, but every time they die, they get reincarnated. Now, they don't reincarnate officially until the other one dies, and then they meet each other again until they die again and again and again, and that's their existence since ancient Egypt, which is horrible, but also cool. So Hawkman dies, telling Diana to don't close herself off because she's got all these walls around her, Diana, Black Canary, and to take out those walls. Don't give up on love because she's been hurt in the past. Just don't give up on it. And she does. And she battles the Atlanteans. And then, the creature that killed Hawkman, she unleashes a sonic scream unlike any sonic scream ever. It literally tears the flesh off of the flying sea creature, literally disintegrates it, and it's absolutely amazing. So cool. It was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I'm skipping a lot of points, but I'll go back to some of them in the moment. And then we see a fight scene between Diana and Arthur Aquaman, who's under the control of the guy, I can't remember his name, working for the Hitler, working with the Hitler, not the Hitler, what the heck, the Fuhrer, whatever you want to call him. But, so they go neck and neck. Diana breaks Arthur's trident, and it causes a backlash. And then the unthinkable happens. The guy who's controlling Arthur takes the broken half of the trident, the trident part, and stabs Steve Trevor. And he lives for a little while, but then he dies. And the thing about Diana and Steve Trevor in this, Steve is literally proposing to Diana every single day. Or like asking her on a date every single day and proposing. But she always says no. And Barry says, I understand why you say no, but we'll get more into that a little bit later. So basically, he tries to propose to her on his deathbed as he's dying. But he can't put the ring on her finger because he dies too soon, and that just breaks Diana. But then the second wave of the attack comes, and it's the Fuhrer's gigantic dreads. But then, guess who shows up to save the day last minute? It's Superman. Well, he calls himself Shakespeare in the beginning of the movie. It's suppressed, but his name is Clark Kent, obviously. But you can call me Clark. Clark is kind of my name. And then Barry says, or you can just call him Superman. And it's funny. Also, it's funny that Clark Kent, when he's Shakespeare, has a mustache, but when he comes back as Superman, he doesn't have a mustache, which is just funny. But I like the interactions between Barry and Diana, and also Jay Garrick, because Jay Garrick teaches Barry a couple things like phasing, and like Barry's like, why didn't I think of this? And then Barry also teaches Jay Garrick some things like making a vortex with your arms to catch planes, using the electrical charge from your running to charge batteries. And it's just, I like this like mentorship / apprentice, like they both give and take from each other. It's just really cool. That's all I'm saying. But the backstory of like Barry and Diana is that both of them understand each other, because Barry is in like a secret relationship with Iris West, and he doesn't want to make it official because he feels like if anyone ever finds out, it's gonna his identity, it's gonna paint a target on her, and he's just like, and she doesn't want that. She wants commitment. She wants just commitment. She wants that. That's as simple as that. But he's like, no, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do this. But at the end of the movie, Diana gives the ring that Steve was going to give her to Barry and says, you can't live like I do. I wasted all this time that we could have had together. You can't waste it. So when Barry finally gets back, he proposes to Iris, which was really nice. And then he proposes to also Superman, hey, we need to form a league. This isn't the only threat that's going to happen. Yeah, this is back on his Earth, by the way. It's just a really good movie, so I would recommend seeing it. I hope you guys like my talking about this. If you like my reaction, make sure, or my review, make sure to like this video. Subscribe if you're new. Share this with your friends. Comment down below. Try to respond to all the comments. Also, I have 2 other channels. I have a review channel and a Pokemon channel. Reviews, I review Funko Pops, NECA, Sideshow Collectibles, McFarlane Toys, Hot Toys, not the cars, the figures, Sideshow Collectibles, Band Presto, which is like anime figures, stuff like that. On my Pokemon channel, I open up Pokemon packs. So if you like that kind of stuff, check out the links in the description down below. And as always, my fellow reactors and reviewers, have a nice day and peace out.